started. Sorry, mute option is there, right? Just mute in your side. Okay, I'm going to start my session because I'm going to get delayed. Okay, so we have a final variable. So what is the meaning of final variable? Okay, so final variable means if you will declare variable as a final, you cannot change this variable. 1 second, yeah. You close it, right? I'm going to change. So final variable means where you can use the final variable. Okay, so new members, I will give you the tomorrow backup class, whatever the session we have missed it. Okay, so if you are not able to understand all the things, don't worry. Okay, so final, we have a final is a modifier. Okay, I told you, right? Modifiers, static, final. So final is a modifier. So final we can use as a class level. Okay, you can use as a method level, and final we can use as a variable level. Okay, so first we will understand what is the use of this final. So final is a modifier and it will be applicable for class level, method level and variable level. Now we are going to discuss if you will make it a variable as a final, when you will make it variable as a final, and why we use final keyword with variable. So we have to understand this thing. So just I will give you the overview of that class level and method level. So if you are giving the final class as a final, you cannot extend the properties of the class, means you cannot inherit the class. Okay, method, if you will give this method as a final, you cannot override that method, and if you will give final as a variable, you cannot change the value. Got it, right? So where you can use this final variable, some of the requirement is there, like company name. Okay, company name is only one, right? If you are having like TCS, while developing the application, others user cannot change this name, right? HDFC bank name. Okay, final. So final or static and final. Okay, static and final. When you can see this a static, final will be there. For variable, I told you, right? A static means we have a single copy of memory, right? So this is, just suppose this is your HDFC bank or company, right? Like this is your HDFC bank, this HDFC bank, and inside this we have a multiple customer, many customers are there inside this bank. So this bank name is unique or common to all the customer, so we cannot change the bank name, we cannot change the company name. So this is the combination of static and final. A static means we have a single copy of memory. Single copy of memory means only one bank, HDFC bank, right? Single copy of memory, right? So that will be used in the real time, where you can use in the final and static. We'll give you some example of that. So final variable, so the class level or local variable that has a final keyword in its definition, it is called final. One more thing, final is applicable for class level and method level both, right? So once it initialized by the developer, its value cannot be changed. It will try to change and it leads to be a compile time error. Okay, so if you will make it the final, you cannot change this value. let's see. I will see with one example with final variable, and method and class level we will come on that when I will start hook concept, and final modifier itself topic is there. Okay, so actually just I will give you some overview of some of the new members are there, otherwise not able to understand. I don't know what you have a knowledge, but in my side I will explain little bit class level variable and local variable. The variable which is created as a class level, that is called class level variable. Why it is class level? Because this is opening and curly braces. So this field is called class field, this field is called method field. Okay, this field is called method field and this field is called class field. Class field we have two types of the variable, a static and non-static. Okay, so this variable is called your class level variable. Inside this class level variable we have a static and non-static. A static means we have a single copy of memory, so at the time of class loading JVM is provided to the memory, no need to create an object. Non-static means we have to provide how to provide the memory for the non-static. We have to create an object. Okay, so how to access, we will see that. So the variable which is created inside this method, that is called local variable. Then how to access this? So local variable we can access directly, no need to create an object. When your you can access directly. Okay, but let's see, I will tell you this editor how to configure in the backup session. Okay, so I'm going to get this C value, right, 10, but how to access this class level variable? If you will try to access this class level variable A, then what happens? A is the non-static variable, so non-static variable is not getting the memory directly. Then what you have to do, you have to create an object. How to create an object? So class name, okay, class name new and this. What is meaning of new keyword? New keyword means it will create an object. When you are writing new keyword, one object is created. Okay, so now here this variable is there, store here, non-static variable. Okay, so like a equal to 10. Then how to access this variable inside this object? By using this referenced variable. So referenced variable means it will access whatever the members which is available inside this object. So how to access this member? T dot A, right? So whatever the member which is available inside this object, we will use the reference variable for accessing the member which is inside this in object, right? So now how to access this? T dot, going to print this, so that's why I use here T dot. So now I will to access this. How to access this static member? So static member you can access directly, no need to create an object. Why? Because JVM is provided the memory automatically, right? Main method is a static, no need to create an object and all. Why? Because the JVM is provided the memory, so it is having the automatically it will get the memory from the JVM. So we can access a static member directly by using, you can access directly, you can access by using the class name. Real time will use class name. Why? Because others developer is able to understand. Might be you can access directly, but someone is debugging the code and they want to see that what is meaning of this variable. Then how can they see the others people, right? Others developer or other team member. So that's why in the real time how to access while writing the in real time you are working, then how to access this variable? So we'll always use the class name. If you have any non-static member, always we will use the class name for accessing the member. Why? Because others member can debug this code to understand the project flow, right? So by using this we can access. Okay, and you can use by referenced variable also, but that is your useless memory. No need to access by using the object, because already memory is there. Then why are you acquiring this memory for accessing this static member? So this is not possible, but not recommended to use. Not recommended to use in the real time. For practice purpose you can use. Real time it is recommended to use this. Okay, so I will come on this example. So this variable is your class level variable, right? So I took one variable, a static variable, right, and one variable that is called final, a static with final. If you have a final, means it is a final variable. So one more conclusion is there: final modifier is applicable for class level and method level, both, means local variable, right? So let's do one thing. So now just I'm going to print this value. Okay, now I'm going to print this value. So this is your class level variable x and y. So what the value will come here? Value will come 20 and 10. That's it. Okay, the value will come 20 and 10. Just we are printing this, right? That's it. But if you will try to change this value, printing 2020 and okay, so this is also I'm printing. Okay, I did not comment this. So here both variables simply printing here, but we have used here final. I'm going to try to modify this value. Okay, I'm not modifying this. I'm going to modify this final variable. In place of 10, I'm going to reassign this value 40. Okay, if you will try to change this value, you will get compiled time error, and compiler is, you can see, cannot assign the value to the final variable, right? So what is the conclusion of that? You cannot do any modification, or any developer will try to modify this value. We cannot do that. That is the use of final. So this is the class level, and I'm going to apply with method level by one. So I'm going to again modify, but if you will try to modify, you will get error. So this is your story of final variable, but we have many things in the final. So coming session we will discuss in the method and class level, how to use final as a class level final, and as a method level final. So we will discuss, okay, in the method and class. So this is your this is your final. Okay, this is a little bit tricky concept, but definitely you are able to understand. Okay, if you are not able to understand, no worry. Okay, and you can ask me question, because some of new people are there. So if you know the basics of the Java, you can understand. If you don't know, no worry. Okay, actually we have some concept, and this concept you can get it in the real time, or you can get it in some scenario. Okay, just I don't know who is this, just mute in your side, because it's just mute in your side. Okay, one mute option is there, so it's echo is coming. Okay, so let's understand this concept. Okay, rules, important rules. So we are inside this a static method. Okay, so let's come on that code. Okay, so we are inside this static method. So this concept I'm going to discuss, and this concept just I'm going to comment this. Okay, because I cannot tell you in the one shot, will get confused. So now whatever the code we have written here, the rules I have written. So now we are inside this static method, right? We are inside this static method. Why it is a static method? We have a static keyword and method name, and we are inside this static method. To differentiate a static variable with local variable, we use class name, and you can also use object class. So what is meaning of this point? To differentiate a static variable. Okay, so this is our static variable. So a static variable, by, you can say here also having the same variable name, right? So what we are going to learn this class level variable and local variable having the same name, then how to differentiate with this. So this is the concept we are going to learn, right? As a class level, variable name is same. Why? As a method level, variable is also same. Then how to differentiate? So this thing we are going to discuss. So how to differentiate? So first we have to remember in which field you are. So we are inside this static method and differentiating class level variable and local variable. So now if you will execute, okay, so this is your a static method, then we have to call this method, right? Okay, so how to call this method? You can call directly or you can call by using the class name. Just for practice purpose I am going to call directly. So what happened? How this code will execute? When class is loaded into the JVM, all the static member will get memory. Okay, then JVM will search main method. So when control will come inside this main method, then what happens? And method is going to execute in the sequential order from top to bottom. So it is going to execute when the line number 39, when it will come the control here, again compiler and JVM will search where is your main method. Then control will go and search the main method. When control will come in the main method, then again the method is executing from the sequential order from top to bottom. Executed this line, then what the output will come? Output will come here 1200, sorry 2000, right? Got it, right? So this is the local variable, but what we are going to discuss in this concept, to differentiate a static, I have a requirement, I want to access this variable or I want to differentiate this variable. Then how to do that? So we can do the differentiate a static variable with local variable. We use class name or you can use the object class. Object class nothing but by using the object referenced variable. Reference variable we can differentiate. Got it, right? So here I'm going to differentiate. So just I'm going to use, okay, by using this class and by using this reference. Okay, this is your static, right? Using this reference. Got it? So how to access this variable, how to differentiate this variable, right? So by using this, I have to uncomment this. By using this referenced variable, means object class reference variable, and by using this class name, then now we are able to access 20, right? Got it, right? So this is your static variable. And non-static variable, how to do that? To differentiate a non-static variable with local variable, we use object of that class. So this is the static, right? I think you have some confusion here. Class level variable, we have a static and non-static, but local variable always non-static, right? A static is not applicable for local. So when I am telling here non-static method, to differentiate non-static variable, means we are discussing about a class level variable. So non-static method, how to differentiate now? Before we were differentiating we are differentiating a static variable. Now I'm going to differentiate non-static inside this a static method, right? So how to differentiate? So that point I have mentioned, to differentiate non-static variable with local variable, we use object of that class. Okay, so how to differentiate? By using this object of the class. Object of the class means referenced variable. So now how to access this x non-static? So by using this only reference variable. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. I will explain one more time. This all the things you will work in the company, you will get in the real time. If you have any doubt, I will explain one more time. Able to understand? All of you able to understand?
Yes.
Understand, right? Who will explain this code now? Anyone can explain how this code is working? Hey, this is an interaction class. You have to speak. If you want to speak, then how to speak? 4-year and 5-year experience. Yes. What is happening? Hey, just mute in your side, Kasif. Mute in your side. Some echo is coming. Because I have to finish this. Okay, so this is, we are inside this static. Okay, so now if you are in the static method, okay, so now I'm going to uncomment this and we'll come on that second rules. So second rules, what is your second rules? We are in the static method. Okay, so now we have a second rule inside this non-static method. So how to differentiate a static variable with local variable? Then before we are in the static method for differentiating class level variable with local variable. Now we are inside this non-static method. So how to differentiate? Okay, so now we'll come on that whatever the point I have mentioned. Inside this non-static method, to differentiate a static variable with local variable, we use class name, this variable, or any other object of that class. Okay, what is this variable? I will discuss in the coming session. Here you have to understand the concept for differentiating, right? So this is a keyword. By using this keyword, if you are using any non-static member, so by default compiler is adding this keyword. Okay, so I will discuss, we have a bigger story about this keyword. So when I will start object creation and how to explore the object, then I will discuss this keyword. But here we will understand how to differentiate. So for inside this non-static member, inside this non-static member, okay, inside this non-static method, so how to differentiate? So by using this class name, this variable or object, so we can differentiate in the 3 ways. Okay, this static variable we can differentiate in the 3 ways. So how to differentiate? If you will now okay, so if you will now, you can execute this code, then we will get the output 100 and 200. Okay, but how to access this member 10 and 20? So how to differentiate? So by using this, if you will differentiate with a static variable, then we can differentiate from three ways. One way is by using the class name, second is your this keyword, and third is your referenced variable, right? So that point I have mentioned. To differentiate a static with local variable, we use class name, this keyword, and or other object of that class. Other object of that class means this your referenced variable. So now I'm getting the output 2020. Then I use this 21. Okay, so remove this. Now I have to also comment this because I commented, right? And we have to creating an object and calling this method. How to call? This is the non-static. How to call this non-static? So what happened here? When class is loaded into the JVM, so we have a, then JVM will come, compiler and compiler will come inside this JVM, and compiler will look for main method. When control will come inside this main method, then what happened? This line of the code will be executed. When this line of the code will execute, object is created and all this non-static member will get memory here. Okay, so after creating an object, then again this T, if the line will reach here, the control will reach here, then T. So T, what is the T? Then how the JVM and the compiler will understand this T? So T is a reference variable. Which type? Variable demo test type. Okay, so inside this object accessing the value of the member which is available inside this object. So again what happened? Then compiler and JVM will search M2, M1. So again the control, it will go and search. If you have a multiple classes, so I will discuss control flow, how all the code is working. If you have a inheritance concept or all the static and non-static member, so next session I will discuss control flow. Okay, so from there you will get more clarity how the execution and code is working while executing this. So what happened? It will search, JVM and compiler will search M1. Just what I am going to do, I am going to comment this. If I will, you can see, okay, I am going to comment this, not only this, I am going to comment this. Just I am going to give the proof of that, how searching this. So when you will compile this, okay, you can see not able to, cannot find the symbol, means this M1 is not there. Then compiler terminated the error because this compiler is not able to find where is your M1 because I commented, right? So if I uncomment this, then it will search M1. So it will go M1, inside this M1, and again this from top to bottom in sequential order it will execute, right? So same thing happen here. Got it, right? So just differentiating this, then output will come, right? 100 and accessing this value, this 20. How to differentiate or access as a class level? By using the class name, by using the this keyword, and by using the reference variable. So this is a story of a static variable. To differentiate non-static variable with local variable, we use this keyword or any other object of referenced. Got it, right? So now I am going to, I have differentiate a static. So how to differentiate non-static? So non-static, by using this keyword or by using referenced variable, we can access this or we can differentiate this. So this is the important concept. Okay, so in the real time these things are using. Okay, this your variable is completed. So tomorrow I will start another topic. So just I'm going to stop your session. I will send you the notes. And okay, so if you new guys, from tomorrow I will give you the backup class 7:30 to 8:30. Okay, whatever the classes 2 and 3 classes missed it, I will give you from 7:30 to 8:30 backup class. Okay, I will send you this recording and notes. Okay.